Sharp bulb there. Do the lemon and salt method. Okay, so we'll just take some lemon juice. Not a lot. About a tablespoon, all three really. Just take some table salt and be not at all shy about getting the salt on there. This isn't for seasoning, this is for a little trick. Okay, so we've got the salt and the lemon juice on the fish. Just give it a bit of a rub, a bit of a pat. Don't go that way. If you're going to go in any direction, go with the scales, don't go against them. And the better job you do of making sure you've got salt and lemon juice on all of the part of the fish that you're going to be using, the happier you're going to be in a couple of minutes time. Okay, give them a turn. So these haven't been cleaned yet, they've just been wild caught, gills cut, bled on the beach. Very liberal with the salt, make sure there's plenty on there. Again, this isn't seasoning, this is for a handy little trick. And pat them in. Okay, doesn't take long at all, just a few minutes. We already started to lift on this side, so we're going to start at the tail end. And that's just taking the scales right off. That lemon juice and salt breaks up the tissues that hold the scales in place on the skin. Don't have to rub very hard. I'm just basically, if I do it on the skin, you'll be able to see by how much I push my skin in, how hard I'm pressing. So all I'm doing is about that hard with the edge of the spoon. So just running the edge of the spoon up into the end of the scales, and it lifts them up, and the lemon juice and salt has already broken up the tissues, like I said, that hold the scales in place, and the scales come off like that. Thanks YouTube for that one. Got a few more on the belly on this side to go. I told you we weren't seasoning the fish with this little concoction, and we didn't. And if you're some kind of a food scientist and you can tell me why this is happening, why lemon juice and salt breaks up the scales, or makes it so easy to remove the scales from a fish, I wouldn't mind knowing. So I've got a plan for these three fish. I caught these down at Half Moon Creek in Cairns on the east coast of Australia, and I was out there with my NDIS fishing buddy. G'day Richie. We actually had a decent session. Had a fairly long run of pretty ordinary luck as far as fish to bring home goes. A couple of times in the last month and a half, we've done quite well out of the same creek. These fish that I'm cleaning here, these are Silver Jewfish. They cook up fine. We're a little bit spoiled with the likes of mangrove jack and barramundi and coral trout and nanagai. Plenty of really nice fish that you can go after around here. So these sort of more bread and butter kind of fish, they're typically not targeted, they're more kind of bycatch more than anything else, which was the case today. I mean, really it would have been nice to have picked up a barramundi or two, but this time of year that's just not as likely. Seriously, like that was such a win refresh when I got the the short that showed me this little trick. Really is handy. Like, so I'm planning to make a fish stir fry with these. 3 elements of the stir fry. I'll be cooking them all separately. A noodle component, and there will be a vegetable component. So stir fried vegetables, fried noodles, and fried fish. And at the end of it, it will all come together as one dish. Not exactly sure how the seasoning is going to go. Usually just eyeball it and things work out well. A couple of go-to ingredients that tend to work out pretty well. A little taste along the way, and if it needs any something in either direction, then we can sort it out along the way. I don't usually cook to a recipe. That's fairly rare for me, unless I'm learning a new technique and the technique's essential to the recipe. Like when I learnt chow mein, how to do chow mein, the technique of getting the noodles right was kind of the point of learning to do that recipe. So I learnt the recipe and I learnt the right way to do the noodles, and then threw out the rule book and I do it my own way now that I've got the technique down. Okay, so that's most of the scales into the bag. I'm not going to get all of them, but it's okay. At some point I'm going to have to get off my feet. I can't, even with being able to lean here, I can't stand forever. Got some scales around the place. Scaled. So a lot of people will throw those out, but fried up, they're a beautiful little snack. Season them up, fry them up. Just a quick shallow fry. Only takes a couple of minutes. That's the one I want. Just a bit of oil from the last time I cooked in it, just to keep it seasoned with a coating on it in the cupboard there. Okay, had some plans for this. What did I want? Some honey. That's going in last though. Or some oil before that pan gets too hot. Actually a little more than that, not quite enough for a shallow fry, but definitely enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Shouldn't need any more, so I'll put that back. Season. I'm thinking like honey and chili with maybe a dash of lime. So you're going to need the flavour of the ocean in there, but I don't want pepper in there yet. And a little toss. Not a lot of seasoning on that, just a little. Are we hot enough yet? Not quite. I'm going to need that. But that's not happening right away. That's in a minute. So like I mentioned earlier, this is going to be a stir fry. I'm just cooking with what I got. See what I come up with. Tiny little bit. Thank you. Yeah, so when you're ready. I want a fairly fast and hot cook. Should have some lime juice. Not a lot, but there'll definitely be some. That will do. If you got citrus juices like lime juice or lemon juice and you put them in your fish before you start cooking, the acid in this will start to cook the fish. So let's not do that. So we're up to temperature. I intend to make the skins nice and crispy. I'm putting them face down. Okay, so here's some lemon juice. And some honey. Okay, I want quite a lot of the oil and not a lot of the crisp, so okay, so I just had raw fish in here. And I am cooking my fish, so why is that not getting hot? There we go. Okay, so we're starting to get a colour here. I'm going to move the big bits that I had in the middle out to the edges and move the little bits in. Goes together really nicely, that the honey and the chili oil and the lime juice makes a really nice flavour profile. It's spicy, it's sweet and it's sour all at once. Just make use of, I put my little sauce container in the fridge with fish bits in it. The egg cup will do. Just need something to make a little slurry out of this stuff. The cornstarch, and give me just a little water. So we need to get this into here. I'm going to put the cornstarch through that mix of honey and chili oil, lime juice of course, and that hopefully should start to thicken. So I think what I'm going to do is use the fish to sauce the vegetables. So I'll cook the vegetables raw and then mix them in with this once they're cooked, and then do the noodles separately with a sort of a stylized chow mein. See how that's sitting out on the sides now? That's thickened up nicely, and as it cools it'll thicken even more. Chili and honey and lime sauce with that fish. Beautiful. That's pretty much what I wanted to happen. I wanted it like in small pieces with skin that I'd cooked in the first part to the point where it starts to char, so that there'll be a little bit of a crispy texture to the fish. Let me just check that. More oily than the rest of the flavours, and there's a fair amount of fish taste in there too, which is nice. It could do with a little more sweetness. So before it gets too cool, I'm going to add in another little squirt of honey. And not even cook that in, just let that infuse into the fish. There we go. So the fry pan's getting hot again. Made a little bit of a mess. Okay, now I brought these vegetable stir fry, which has a selection of thinly cut vegetables including capsicum, cabbage, carrot, zucchini, onion and bok choy. It's piping hot. It might even be a little bit too hot for some veggies. Yeah. Okay. On the edge and stay there, some salt and pepper. I'll just let those reduce down a little bit, let some of the moisture cook out of it. You can see the steam coming up. That's kind of what I'm doing. It's cooking the water out of the vegetables. And after that cooks down, my lovely brightly coloured chili and honey fish can go back in there. So ordinarily, if I was doing a typical stir fry, I would cook my protein, whatever protein I'm using, I'd cook first, and I'd usually let the fats render, like if it's beef, or pork or something, I'd let the fat render out into the frying pan, and then I'd use that rendered fat as a flavour base for the vegetables to fry in. Might need a little more salt, just the salt pulls the moisture out, and as well as seasoning the food, the vegetables, it will also help them to stop from going well, squishy. So they're about halfway done. Make a little well in the middle. And this is a step that normally wouldn't happen with my stir fries. I've just decided that this time we're going to do it. Get that yummy chili infused lemon juiced and honeyed up oil back in there, and give it a mix through. And something naturally sweet like some pineapple pieces in there or something would be nice, but I can't be bothered cutting up pineapple at this point in this cook. Noodles. Now these ready to cook, get ready to eat. Little slice on the corner. Let some water in and loosen up the noodles. Give them a minute. Beautiful. Look at the colours. It's lovely. Get as much out as I can because I am just going to give this a quick rinse. Wipe out. Back onto a very high heat. Grab my noodles, which aren't hot. I've just put a little bit of steam through them so it'll separate easier in here. We want some hot oil. break them up first, which, as I said, steaming them first for a minute really helps that. You want to spread them out and cover as much of the bottom of the pan as possible. I'm going to leave that on full high heat and just let it cook. And I am going to take a little seat for a second. You should really be seeing some colour on these noodles now. Yeah, see that sort of golden brown look in there, almost charred? Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Once we get that, we're going to give them all a turn. The texture changes. So now we've got like a hard, almost brittle, crunch. That's what you want. And to get that, yeah, oil the pan. Not a lot of oil, just enough to glaze the bottom of it. And then spread your noodles out all around the frying pan. The easiest way to get them to spread out is to quickly steam them, either in the microwave or in the rice cooker or something. Put your noodles into the frying pan, spread them out so that you've maximised the amount of noodles that are touching the bottom of the frying pan. And just let them cook, give them a minute, check every now and then, just sort of pick up a little bit and go, has that gone crusty yet? If it hasn't, just leave it alone. You don't want to be stirring them around or anything. I know it's called a stir fry, but for fried noodles in particular, give them a minute, let them char up. It's all about that texture. Really need to put those fish wings in something else. Little container. That'll do. A little sauce bowl. Okay, so I've got some soy sauce, dark soy sauce. I have a little bit of sweet soy sauce, and I have some oyster sauce. Just carefully measure precisely 1 bit of oyster sauce with a hefty squeeze of sweet soy sauce, and then, oh goodness, not now, I can smell that's burning. A none too insignificant amount of soy sauce. You can use dark soy sauce and light soy sauce together, but instead I've used the sweet soy sauce instead of the light. It's my own little substitution there. Give it a little mix, and in with the noodles. And we want to coat the noodles quickly. Get over there anyway, because this will start to set fairly fast, so you want to get it all over the noodles by mixing it through nice and thoroughly like that. Fried wheat noodles, which is now being flavoured with about all of the umami in the world. And into that we're going with the sour and sweet fish stir fry. Give it a mix through. And that shouldn't need any further seasoning, because there's If you remember, there was a lot of salt on the vegetables to help pull out the moisture from them. Now what we should have, if I've done this right, let me just clean up a little while that does its thing. Actually, I'll reduce that heat down to a medium. A quick little stir. Get that out into the light so we can see those colours. I mean, how does that look? Fish stir fry with fried noodles. And these can go in the fridge to cool down, but they'll go into the freezer for for another night. Try and drop everything into the middle so I don't end up with oil all up the side, which I've already done. Oh well. Thank you to the fish. Thanks Richie for taking me out, getting the fish. And thanks to me for the cooking. Bon appetit. Find some fish. There we go. So here's a piece of my nice, crispy, neatly chopped up honey, chili and lemon fish. That's really good.